This is the breed we use for what Americans might call a rare or uncommon dog. Hello, I'm Shafiq, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the hidden gems in the canine world that America has kept under wraps. And one of those gems pertains to rare dog breeds, or as they're known in the dog show circuit, unicorns with fur. It means they're special. And of course, as a certified dog enthusiast, I've done my fair bit of breed research. Right? Just off the top of my head, I've studied Labrador Retrievers, German Shepherds, and I think from that I've learned quite a bit about common breeds, so I know what I'm barking about. But when it comes to the rare breeds, whether you're just looking for a unique companion or something to make your neighbor's jaws drop, it is worth learning that rare dog breeds in America aren't necessarily the same as their counterparts in other countries. And so without further ado, let's metaphorically ring that bell at the Kennel Club as I uncover some of the rarest dog breeds you'll find wagging their tails on American soil. When I was out there for the first time at an American dog show, living the canine lifestyle on my quest for rare breeds, the first confusing thing that I noticed is that some breeds I'd never heard of before kept popping up. Alex, what do you mean by that? Well, here's how rare breeds work in America. We'll get into specific breeds later. The floor where I enter the show and speak to the handlers and ask them if they have any free dog treats is known as the starting point of our rare breed adventure. When you enter this world, you press the metaphorical button to stay on the ground floor of common knowledge. Nobody would ever do that. Or you can press the button to go up to the floor above, where the rare breeds reside, or the floor above that for even rarer breeds. And you get my drift. In America, I don't know why my hand is still up there mimicking pressing elevator buttons. In America, it's a little bit different because that same floor where I enter the dog show and talk to handlers and ask them for some free dog treats, and they actually know what rare breeds are, is just the beginning. And this is usually denoted in the dog world by the number of people who recognize the breed when you're out for a walk. So the floor immediately above that is where people start asking, what kind of dog is that? And then above that is where even veteran dog show judges scratch their heads. And then above that is where you start feeling like you've discovered a new species. And this is where those Pan-American differences really take shape. Or should I say size? Because there's one key rule. On the whole, rare American dog breeds tend to be less known than their counterparts in other countries. And the reason for this, as we all know, is that America marginally outbreeds other countries in terms of popular dogs. But it's also because America is about 40 times the size of some European countries. And so we just sort of spread our rare breeds out, in fact, awkwardly. A tiny rare breed show was where I first met the Chinook, and they were in a ring about the size of this studio, which surprisingly, given that I am often dubbed America's finest dog breed expert, is not that big. And at the best of times, I don't like being in close proximity to unfamiliar dogs, but being squashed in a ring with these majestic creatures was the second most exciting experience of my life. And I know what you're thinking. Ooh, Alex, what was the first? Being squashed in the elevator with a Neapolitan Mastiff on the way up. But the next time we met at an American Kennel Club event, we sure did have a chuckle. At least, I think we did. I couldn't hear them because they were on the other side of the massive exhibition hall. You see, American rare dog breeds, like cars or portion sizes or America itself, are just more diverse. I mean, they'd have to be, right? Especially given what we've discovered on this channel about the differences in dog breed origins. And, of course, a breed is not the only thing in the dog world where you'd find rarities. In addition to the breed, the color variations, and in desperate times, the mixed breeds, which should prompt nobody to ask me about the designer dog incident of 1998, there are also the working roles. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, Alex, the British rare breeds have separate categories for working and show lines. Well, firstly, that's not always true, and secondly, that's not where I was going with this. I was actually going to mention the size differences because while in America, the rare breeds and the common breeds are more or less on equal footing in terms of recognition, this is often not the case in other countries. To go from common to rare breeds, You often have to kind of step up your knowledge because the world of rare breeds is higher up in the canine hierarchy. There's one thing to remember this: getting in, but getting out when your brain is full of new breed information. It could lead to an unintentionally hilarious conversation at your local dog park. In fact, I do have footage, but I can't show it on here because I'd get hundreds of complaints and an equal number of requests for breed information. So just take my word for it. Rare breeds are of course found in many places and through much of our daily lives, but never more do I need them than when I'm at a dog show. So because of this, it is worth remembering some of the key differences between common and rare American dog breeds. Don't take my word for it. Instead, listen to me from last year. It was once said by me in just a second from now that you can tell a lot about a country by the diversity of its dog breeds. And given its unparalleled record of boasting larger stuff than everyone else, America might fancy its chances of winning the My Rare Breeds are rarer than your rare breeds debate. But the truth is, and you might find this shocking, some countries have even rarer breeds. You can't talk about rare breeds without talking about origins. Origins are the historical roots that keep the breed attached to its homeland like a docked tail. And the only reason I made a nautical sim there was to draw your attention to the miniature ship I made from rare breed trading cards while I was bored. Anyway, there are several key differences in this department. On American rare breeds, the origins are ever so slightly more diverse and crucially more recent. This makes them more interesting and impossible to ignore. How do I know that? Because I was a curious dog lover once. But whereas some American rare breeds, that is, breeds recognized by the AKC, are decidedly old, that's not always the case in America. Sure, breeds like the Chinook, whose faces look like surprised huskies, definitely do have a long history, but breeds like the Boer Terrier, which are easily the more outgoing and competitive of the two, are relatively new due to the manner in which each breed was developed. There's also a difference in how they're perceived by the public. In America, the rarer the breed, the more likely people are to stop and ask about it, thus making it harder to take a quick walk around the block. And the common connection of popular breeds means that you can do this in theory, but it's not recommended if you're in a hurry. One of the biggest concerns for Americans discovering rare breeds, aside from being forced to learn new pronunciations, is the Great American Rare Breed Divide. In America, rare breed recognition is categorized as either fully recognized, miscellaneous class, or foundation stock service. Moreover, American rare breeds operate on a different frequency of public awareness. What does all of this mean? Well, let's just say that you want to own an American rare breed, but it isn't fully recognized by the AKC, is not in the miscellaneous class, or is incompatible with your lifestyle. In that instance, you'll need to run to the nearest breed club to pick up some more information. A breed club will convert your curiosity into knowledge about the breed. In the event that your chosen breed doesn't come with a local club, be sure to also pick up one of these. This internet connection is magic. It allows you to turn your Type A or B curiosity into Type G breed expertise. For dog lovers visiting America, the same applies, but in reverse. A deep dive into breed history might also be needed to safely interact with rare breeds in the U.S. Both are widely available for Americans and visitors on various dog enthusiast websites. I'd say the most obvious difference between common and rare American dog breeds is the temperature of excitement they generate. When I first encountered a rare breed at an American dog show, I couldn't believe how cool it was, and not in a Morgan Freeman type way. I mean, this was a Catahoula leopard dog. I just mean it was fascinating, but in Britain, you don't usually have that problem and/or luxury because a significant amount of British rare breeds are either not recognized in America or not recognized well. This is a particular problem when you're squished in a show ring with your future best friend. As with many areas of life, rare dog breeds are their own subgenre of common versus uncommon word differences. Take, for instance, the name that we assign to that helpful breed enthusiast who helps you with your breed questions when you're checking out a new dog. In Britain, and much of the rest of the world, this person is known as a breed expert. and this is the word we use for what Americans might call a breed ambassador or a breed mentor. Also, whether it's situated on the ground or the first floor of canine knowledge, dog lovers can't agree on what you call that area of the dog world that you enter upon discovering rare breeds. In Britain, we usually opt for the word specialist breeds. Please note that Americans, just like patrons on my most recent secret live stream, are divided on whether this should be pronounced rare breeds or uncommon breeds. Either way, Americans will often call this area the Foundation Stock Service. More often than not, Brits will call a rare breed a specialist breed. Americans will call a specialist breed a rare breed. While Americans have about 100 words for a mixed breed dog, chief among these are mutt, Heinz 57, all-American or designer dog, and finally, breed standard. This is something I've encountered far more in the United States than I have in Britain. This is a detailed description offered at dog shows in which you learn about the ideal characteristics of a breed, but the use of standard might be confusing to some Brits. You might think of a standard as a flag or banner, a fine example of which is the breed standard banner often seen at dog shows that I somehow keep mentioning in my videos just by coincidence. That's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below some of the rare dog breeds that you've encountered. I'm Alex Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePoundUS, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't get lost in the pound. Thank you to my patrons for literally making this video happen. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so today at patreon.com/LostInThePound. Until the next video, goodbye.